Welcome to GDs, and this is Yellowjackets, Season 1. Part 1. Season starts with a girl running in the wilderness, and we see her falling into a trap, and thereafter, she is killed, cooked, and eaten by a group of people in masks. At present, we see a reporter, Jessica Roberts, questioning peers and teachers of a high school soccer team, and inquiring from them about what they think really happened to the girls of the soccer team, whose plane crashed in a wilderness years before. We then see her approaching Shauna, and asking her if she is willing to talk about what happened in the wilderness after their plane crashed. Shauna tells her that there is nothing to talk about, as their plane crashed, a bunch of her friends died, and the rest of them starved, scavenged, and prayed till they were found after 19 months. Jessica lets her know that there is more to the story than what she is letting on, and if she is willing to talk, she could get her a book deal and a lot of money. She tries to push her to open up, but Shauna is not interested, and she asks her to leave. Shauna later sees Tisa Turner on a TV ad, launching her campaign for the upcoming elections of state senator. Though she told the reporter that she is not in touch with any of the girls from the crash, we see her opening a safe and calling someone, asking them to meet. We get to see her meeting Tisa, and she informs her that someone is looking into their stories, and although she claimed to be a reporter, but Shauna was not able to find any articles attributed to her. Shauna asks her to take care of it, as she is running for the Senate, despite all of them deciding to keep a low profile. Tisa tells her not to worry about the same. She also lets her know that there is no sign of others, while one of their friends, Nat, is in rehab. We then get to see Nat, and we learn that she has completed her recovery, and is allowed to leave. As she gets out, we see her going to an old storage, from where she gets her car and a rifle, and we see her waiting for someone. On the other hand, we get to see another girl from the plane crash, Misty Quigley, who is currently working as a care facility nurse. As she gets out, we find that she is the one for whom Nat has been waiting. In a flashback of the wilderness, we learn that one of the people eating in a mask in the wilderness was indeed Misty. We then get to see the high school girls soccer team, known as the Yellowjackets, qualifying for the Nationals. The team's captain is Jackie Taylor, a popular girl from the high school, and she is dating Jeff. And Shauna is her best friend. While Tisa is planning with a few of her teammates to freeze out one of their up-and-coming freshmen, Allie, as she thinks she is not ready to be in the team. And during a practice session, Tisa's aggressive tackle causes Allie to be injured, and she is ruled out of the team. Later at a party, Shauna blames Tisa for deliberately causing injury to Allie, and as they were about to get into a fight, Jackie stops them and gets them to reconcile. After the party, Jeff drops off Jackie, but before dropping off Shauna, they make out in the car. The next day, the Yellowjackets team, along with its support staff, boards a private plane, which was arranged by Mr. Matthews, father of Lottie Matthews, one of the girls on the team. But the plane was not able to reach its destination, and it crashes in the wilderness. After the crash, Misty takes charge of the situation, and she chops off the leg of their assistant coach Ben Scott, in order to save his life, as his leg was crushed in the crash. As the rest of the girls are quite shaken after the crash, Misty, because of her knowledge of vital survival skills, is feeling a lot more appreciated, which she never felt before in the school, where she had no friends and was mostly bullied. Misty, feeling valued in the wilderness, destroys the plane's emergency transmitter, which she found by accident, as she enjoyed the feeling of being appreciated. Travis, the son of the head coach, finds his father's body, impaled on a tree. Nat tries to give Travis support, knowing he lost his father. She also reminds him that he needs to stay strong, as he is his younger brother also there. We also get to see Lottie finding her bag, and only having a handful of pills with her, which she takes for her schizophrenia. Meanwhile, in the present, Nat confronts Misty at gunpoint, as she received a postcard of the wilderness, along with a symbol that only those who were there would know. She thinks that it was her who sent her the postcard. But Misty shows her the same postcard, and lets her know that she also received one. Later at a bar, Misty shows Nat her research, as she has joined an online detective group. And in her research, Nat was able to find the present whereabouts of Travis. There, they also get to meet Kevin Tan, and we learn that he used to be quite close with Nat before the crash, and now he is a detective. Nat decided to go meet Travis, and Misty, in order to accompany her for the trip, sabotaged her car, thereby giving Nat no choice but to go with her. We also learn that Taissa also received the same postcard. In addition, we get to see her partner Simone, as well as her son Sammi. Taissa gets concerned when she finds drawing on her son's window, and he lets her know that he put them up there so that he can remain safe from the tree lady. On the other hand, we learn that Shauna married Jeff, and they are now going to a therapist to rekindle the passion in their relationship. While they also have a teenage daughter, Callie. Shauna gets acquainted with an intriguing stranger named Adam after she rear-ends his car, and he seems to like her. She later finds a message on her husband's phone from someone named Bianca, asking him to meet at their usual place. Shauna, not trusting Jeff, follows him and sees him going to a hotel. She gets to the hotel lobby, but was not able to find Jeff. Instead, she runs into Adam. As they talk, Shauna sees Jeff with a woman, and later, we see her going to a hotel room with Adam. Meanwhile, Taissa's political opponent, Phil Bathurst, airs a campaign ad, insinuating that she is a cannibal, while her son Sammi hits a child in the park. She gets quite concerned about Sammi, as he tells her that he knows she is not the bad one. While back in the wilderness, Taissa convinces the group to hike toward a nearby lake, as it has been days, and no one has found them yet. Though Jackie is against it, but she is outvoted. We also get to see Misty taking special care of their assistant coach Ben, while Lottie runs out of her meds. The girls are quite happy reaching the lake, and they start to find Travis quite attractive. They also discover an abandoned cabin in the woods, and are quite happy having a roof over their heads, but Jackie is having trouble adjusting to everything. Later at night, they find a dead body in the attic, and the attic had the symbol that they all got in the postcard. While in present, Misty and Nat find Travis hanging in a ranch. They leave before the cops could arrive, and Nat is convinced that he did not kill himself, but was indeed murdered. Misty shows her a note that she found at Travis's place, and the last thing he wrote was to tell Nat that she was right. But Nat is clueless about what he was referring to. We also learn that Jessica is not a reporter, but a fixer, hired by Taissa, in order to find out if any of the remaining Yellowjackets are willing to spill the beans on what really happened in the wilderness. But so far she has found no one willing to talk, and Taissa asks her to push more, as she doesn't want any October surprises for her campaign. She also rejects an endorsement from a powerful potential donor, as in exchange for her support, she wanted her to reveal what really happened in the wilderness. On the other hand, Shauna and Adam go on a date, and Shauna enacts her Miss Teen fantasies, while Adam seems quite interested in her personal information. They later end up making out in the car. Nat catches up with Kevin, but in reality, she wanted to use his affection for her in order to know more about the investigation of Travis's murder, and knowing him to be a detective, she is able to get him to look into it. While Misty, not liking being sidelined, followed her and was keeping an eye on her. Being there, she finds Jessica watching Nat. She warns her and tells her to stay away, and lets her know that she needs to be afraid of her. Back in the wilderness, the group found a gun with a plentiful supply of ammo inside the cabin. Ben, being the only adult and having limited mobility, asks the group to try shooting the gun, as in order to survive, they need to hunt, and thus he wants to see who is the most capable shooter. Nat and Travis prove to be the best suited to handle the gun, and they go on the hunt together. As they hunt, they start to get close. Nat helps Travis out to get a ring from his father's finger, so that his brother could have something to remember him by. In a flashback, we also get to know that Nat pointed a gun at her father in order to save her mother, but he took the gun from her, and in a freak accident, he shot himself and died. Nat and Travis are able to kill a deer, and they bring it back to the cabin, while Shauna skins and butchers it. And they finally get something to eat. We also see Shauna writing her journal and bonding with Travis's younger brother, Javi. The group find a functional propeller plane in the woods, and its tires were covered in roots. Lottie, being off her meds, claims that the wilderness doesn't want them to leave. We later see Ben lashing out at Misty as he notices her advances. Misty, being hurt by this, poisons him. But he survives, and in order to get Misty to back off, he tells her that he too has feelings for her, but they cannot act on them, as she is underaged. In addition, the rest of the girls might get jealous. We also get to know that Taissa and Van are in a relationship, while Nat and Travis get closer to each other. The Yellowjackets go through their menstruational cycle, but Shauna, missing the same, learns that she is pregnant, but in order to hide the same, she uses deer's blood. Though Tisa noticed her doing so. Shauna, being close to Jackie, tells her that she needs to pull her weight, as others have started noticing her doing nothing. Jackie, in order to lift everyone up, plans to call the spirit into the attic, and in the process, Lottie appeared to get possessed. She is pulled out of her trance by a religious Laura Lee. Back in present, we see Tisa feeling haunted by a wolf, and as she goes to check it out, she finds that her door is painted. She confronts Sammi after finding a container of paint in his room. But Sammi denies doing so, and blames it on the lady in the tree. Tisa, knowing the attacks on her will increase, and afraid of how it's impacting her family, decides to drop out. She calls for a press conference for the same, but at the last moment, she changes her mind. Simone gets quite upset with her, as she blindsided her with her announcement. On the other hand, Shauna goes out for a Halloween party. Her daughter Callie was also there at the party, and she finds out about Adam. She tries to blackmail her mom, but Shauna tells her that if his father gets to know this, it will be equally bad for her. Nat learns from Kevin that Travis's death was ruled a suicide. But Nat only asked him to look, as then he would have the file on his email, and she asks for Misty's help to get her the files. Misty, using her online detective group, is able to get the files, and as they go through them, they discover a pattern on the floor where Travis died. Knowing this, she asks Tisa to meet her, and as she reaches there, they both get a message, asking them for $50,000 in order to keep their mouths shut. After receiving the message, they call Shauna, while Misty was seeing everything from the hidden camera which she put in Nat's room. Thanks for watching. And if you liked it, please subscribe.